Hi, I'm Mike with Path and Post Real Estate, and this is your North Atlanta market deep dive for September of 2025. More choices are on the market, but it's still a modest seller's edge across most neighborhoods. Think more breathing room for buyers, disciplined strategy for sellers, not a fire sale situation. Before we get into the data, we're going to talk a lot about the Market Action Index. The Market Action Index was developed by Altos Research as an at-a-glance measurement of market conditions. An index above 30 signifies a seller's market and a typical upward trend in home prices. Below 30 shows weaker demand and a tendency towards a buyer's market, which could see prices trend downward. Okay, let's start with our 4 core North Atlanta cities. Woodstock first. Inventory has climbed to 354 homes, which means buyers have a wider menu than midsummer. The median list price is holding around $574,999, so $575,000, signaling confidence, but not a runaway market. The Market Action Index is 36, which is in a slight seller's market with cooler momentum than in July. And about 4 in 10 listings have taken a price cut. So smart pricing and condition matter. Next up is Canton. Inventory is steady near 476 homes. So selection is good, but not oversupplied. The median list price sits at roughly $625,000, which is essentially flat in recent weeks. And the Market Action Index is 32, putting Canton into a balanced market that is inching more towards buyers' favor. Expect longer days for mid-tier listings and more negotiation room on homes that miss the mark early. Let's talk about Roswell. Inventory is tight, around 207 homes. So the best homes still draw quick attention. The median list price is right around $810,000, and prices have flattened after the summer push. The Market Action Index here is at 39, which is a firm seller's edge with a little less heat than last month. And the last of our core 4, Marietta. Inventory is up to 740 homes, which gives buyers options without tipping the market. The median list price is approximately $598,850, which is basically sideways. The Market Action Index is 38, still a slight seller's market as momentum eases into fall. Here's the North Atlanta takeaway. More inventory plus cooler momentum equals right price, right presentation wins for sellers, and more leverage for patient buyers. Premium pockets like Roswell hold their ground, while value plays in Woodstock and parts of Canton reward clean, move-in ready listings. And for some quick hits beyond our core 4 cities, let's look at Alpharetta, which shows a median list price around $1.03 million, Market Action Index near 35, and inventory up to 342 homes, which is a slight seller's market with more choice at the top end. Kennesaw sits near a $521,000 median list price with Market Action Index of 39, indicating a seller's market, but on a late summer plateau. Dunwoody's 30338 zip code is still super tight with Market Action Index around 45, so standout homes move fast. What does this mean if you're selling? Price for future sales, not last month's comps. Focus on making your home feel move-in ready because buyers have options and will pass on projects that feel overpriced. If you miss early traction, adjust decisively rather than chasing the market down with small cuts. What does this mean if you're buying? You have more selection and more room to negotiate on days on market and condition. Know your hyper-local market because competition is still real for turnkey properties in the best areas. And now let's zoom out for a quick look at all of Georgia. Across North Metro Georgia, most market action indices cluster in the low to mid 30s, pointing to mild seller leverage with improving selections. And the nationwide context here shows national prices broadly plateaued compared with last year's. And really the last couple of years. Inventory is higher than in 2024 and a slight seller's market in aggregate. Bottom line for September, markets are cooling, not collapsing. Buyers can be choosy and sellers can still win with strategy. If you want the full city-by-city charts and weekly updates, go to pathpost.com/reports. Let's turn the numbers into smart decisions together.